What's up, YouTube? You're Inside the Edge, and I'm back with another video. Today, we're going to talk some basketball. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like, comment, help me grow. I feel like I'm underrated, but I got a lot of content for you guys, and I'm just going to keep growing. And I appreciate all the support. Now, enough about me. So, today, we're going to talk about my guy, Nick Young, ex-champion, ex-warrior, Swaggy P. He's most people's favorite player. We love him for the interviews. The memes. He's just a funny guy, and it's funny when he's in the league because he does a lot of outlandish things. But as of right now, we know he kind of faded. We didn't really see his name in the free agency. We didn't see his name too much on the market. I don't know if he signed some type of retirement papers because Nick Young, he's living his life. To be honest, we haven't been seeing him in the NBA, but I've been seeing him on YouTube. Doing interviews, podcasts. He's trying to bring his brand up with the most hated brand. That's like his clothing line. He's trying to get into the fashion world. So I love what he's doing. He's trying to do things, life outside of basketball. But he hasn't really been in the NBA talks as much. But for me, I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of content behind him. And I'm going to give you guys what team should consider signing him. Now I'm going to give you guys 3 top teams. Obviously, they're going to be teams that's contending for a title because most teams that go on the championship run to close out the season, they mostly go for veteran-type guys that play with experience, championships, and Nick Young has that. So I'm going to give you guys my top 3 teams. And if you guys go to the 2017-2018 season when he won that chip with the Warriors, now he did have a career low with 7.3 points per game, but he did shoot 41.2 points, 37.7 points from the three-point range, which that is the guy he is. Nick Young is a guy that's a three-point specialist, and he's a guy that can fit into pretty much any team. But for me, I'm going to go with the Sixers. That's going to be the first team I'm going to go with that really needs a perimeter shooter or a knockdown three-point shooter. This team is struggling. Ben Simmons, we don't know what's going on with his jump shot. He gave us all a pump fake. Like he was showing us videos of him shooting in the gym, and then the season comes around and he's not even attempting three-point shots. So I don't know what's going on with that. This team is really struggling. Josh Richardson, a great guard, but we haven't really seen too much of him. Tobias Harris is also struggling. A guy that was supposed to really blossom for this team at the shooting guard position was Zaire Smith, but because of his slow development, they put him in the G League to try to get him back into this unit and back into the NBA. So this team desperately needs a three-point shooter or a guy that can score from a bunch all on his own. Outside of Embiid and Ben Simmons, they need another guy that can shoot off the dribble, create his own shot. So this is one team I feel like Nick Young can come in and make a huge impact on because this team is really lacking with the scoring and everyone is pretty much struggling. So Nick Young being a part of this team, I feel like he can be a great aspect and he would come in and get buckets for this team. Now, second team I'm going with is the Bucks. Maybe the Bucks don't need them because they're playing so great. They're 45-7. Giannis is doing his thing. But when I look at the Bucks offense, they orchestrate their offense around Giannis, and that's pretty much the formula. Giannis is going to be the point forward, and he's going to be surrounded by shooters. And I think Nick Young will be a good aspect to come in and, again, be a knockdown shooter. Or even when Giannis is on the bench, Nick Young can still do his thing and produce numbers and get some buckets for the team off the bench. I believe he could even maybe average 10 points off the bench. But, looking at this team, they do have Wesley Matthews. They do have Kyle Korver, which is another good three-point shooter, but he plays a minimum of minutes because of his age. They try not to burn him out in games. But because of Nick Young being young, I think, he can be out there and get some minutes, and I think he can really produce and, help this team to continue to keep scoring. And, that's pretty much what Giannis needs because of his length and his size. He attacks the rim, he draws doubles, he draws guys in, he kicks the ball out and gets a lot of assists. Giannis is averaging over 5 assists right now, and that's because of the formula of him being the point forward. And, most guys try to close in on him on the defensive end, and that leaves somebody wide open. So Nick Young would definitely get a lot of opportunities, just spraying from deep and just being wide open. So I think the Bucks will really be a good team, and that's one team that I think might even go to the finals in the East if we're being real, right? So the Bucks would definitely be a good team for Nick Young. Now I'm gonna head over to the West, and obviously the next team I'm gonna go with, it might be a cliche because I feel like you could say it's about any player if they ever went to the Lakers, but yes, the Lakers. Nick Young, if he was to go to the Lakers, that would be a good move by the Lakers. I mean, I know they do need a guard that can score on the pick and roll, but Nick Young, I think with Danny Green being the starter, outside of that, they don't really have a natural shooting guard at that position. Caldwell Pope, he's a great player, great defender, but we're talking about 3-point shooting. He's not really at that level where you can rely on him. He's not really reliable. Avery Bradley, he's decent, but he's not really a 3-point. He's not a natural shooting guard. So, Nick Young would obviously be a good piece for this team because of his experience. He can get buckets. People love him. He's a guy on the bench that can keep everybody excited. Team chemistry. He's not going to come into a locker room and mess it up. But, Nick Young, he could definitely bring some swag. He went back to Hollywood. But, playing alongside LeBron, obviously LeBron is going to feed him. But this team could really use a shooting guard, and I think he can be a piece that could maybe kind of, mess up the balance of between the Clippers and Lakers. We already know those two teams are going to the conference finals, but who knows? Maybe Nick Young might make a little effect where he could maybe, make this team a little bit better, where they might have a little bit more leverage on the Clippers, because Nick Young being a deadly shooter. But these are just my top 3 teams. I didn't want to make this video too long, but these are my top teams. If you guys feel like I could have maybe mentioned another team, go for it. Leave a comment below. And I just wanted to just give you guys a little perspective on Nick Young because he's still a free agent, man. It's kind of a question mark, but let's see if he gets back into the league by the end of this year. So if you like videos like this, please subscribe, comment. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. See you guys in my next video. Peace.